Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello, fabulous Squiz Kids listeners, and welcome to the Kids vs. Adults Weekly News Quiz. Your chance to see who's had their listening ears on and been paying the most attention to the week that just was. I'm Bryce Corbett. All week in the Squiz Kids Today podcast, we've been bringing you the big news stories of the day, run through our kid-friendly filter to make sure you know all you need to know about the world around you. Now, it's time to test how much of the week's news you've retained, and in the process, see who's smarter, kids or adults. Plus, of course, because it's a Friday, we've got all today's birthday shout-outs and all the shout-outs for the weekend ahead, including, of course, the birthday reggae tune, because it wouldn't be a Friday without it. So, here's how the quiz works. 5 questions for the kids about the week in news, then 5 questions for adults. Whoever answers the most correct questions wins. Easy. You ready? Let's do this. All right, kids, here are your 5 questions. Question number 1. And the week began with the closing ceremony of the Paris Olympics. Where did Australia finally come on the medal tally? Did we come in A, 4th position, B, 10th position, or C, 23rd position in the world? Well done if you said A, 4th, and how amazing is that? Question number 2. In the podcast this week, we heard how 1.3 million Aussie school kids in years 3, 5, 7 and 9 received results from the set of national exams they sat earlier this year. What is the name of these exams? Yeah, that's right, they're called NAPLAN. Question number 3. It was National Science Week this week, and one scientific effort that we heard about in the podcast this week involved researchers in the top end of WA cooking up and serving to crocodiles there what sort of nasty poisonous amphibian, renowned for living in cane fields and the mascot, oddly enough, of the Queensland State of Origin team. I am, of course, talking about cane toads. Blech. Question number 4. Speaking of sport and animals, we heard in the podcast this week how a big marine mammal photobombed the finals of the Olympic surfing in Tahiti. What sort of animal am I talking about? Yep, I'm talking about a whale, which breached behind a surfer and was captured in a photograph. Amazing. Question number 5. To mark the approach of Book Week, the Squiz Kids shortcut this week was on Roald Dahl, the author of Matilda, The Twits, The Big Friendly Giant, and which book about a boy, a golden ticket, and a man called Willy Wonka? Yeah, that's right. The book is, of course, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. How did you go, kids? How many did you get right out of 5? And do you think that's going to be enough to beat the adults? I'm hoping so. All right, adults, now it's your turn. Let's fire up the old grey matter. Here we go. Question number 1. Elon Musk was in the news this week after conducting an interview on his social media platform X with whom? It was, of course, with Donald Trump. Question number 2. Boeing this week confirmed a couple of astronauts it sent into space will be staying a little bit longer than anticipated on the International Space Station, like 6 months longer, after technical issues were had with their spacecraft. What is the name of the Boeing spacecraft? Is it A, Dreamliner, B, Starliner, or C, the Leyland P-76? Well done to you if you said B, Starliner. Question number 3. Former Prime Minister Scott Morrison was in the headlines again this week after appearing as a witness in a defamation case brought by his former Defence Minister. What is her name? Her name, of course, is Linda Reynolds. Question number 4. Let's test your pop culture cred, adults. In the handover to Los Angeles for the 2028 Olympic Games, Billie Eilish, Snoop Dogg, and which very Californian band were featured in the Paris Olympics closing ceremony earlier this week? It was, of course, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Question number 5, still on pop culture, and using her B-Girl moniker, what's the name of the Aussie breakdancer who broke the internet this past week following her unforgettable performance at the Paris Olympics? Ah yes, ladies and gentlemen, can we all give it up for Raygun? How did you go, adults? How many did you get right? Did you beat the kids? Who has won bragging rights this week? Now, if you've missed any of these cool news stories throughout the week and you want to refresh your memory, all of this week's Squiz Kids episodes are available for a re-listen wherever you get your podcasts. That's the end of the quiz, which means it's now time for...
Shout-outs.
It's Friday, August 16. Today is the birthday of Kiwi film director, Star Wars and Thor star Taika Waititi. It's also National Hawaiian Shirt Day and National Roller Coaster Day in the United States, which are 2 days that I feel like go very well together. Today is also a special day for these Squiz Kids, celebrating a birthday today and over the coming weekend. And because it's a Friday, and as is traditional, we're going to crack out the old birthday reggae tune. Hit it. And it's a happy birthday to Oscar from Lura, Ella from Emerald, Charbel from Sydney, Nikhil from Forest Lake, Emily from Campsie, Chloe from Carina, Kayla from Ballarat, Bella from Aldinga Beach, Sophia from Kenmore, Saxon from Pacific Pines, Sophie from Maroubra, Dusty from Duncraig, Eshal from Blacktown, Tasman from Terry Hills, Miles from Lane Cove, Alana from Gordon, Ronan from Burpengary, Harper and Lucy from Adelaide, Kaya, Oscar and Nash from Thaguna, Adam from Tregear, Edie and Annie from Burrawa, Nora from Jerilderie, and Daniela, who's listening all the way over there in Johor Bahru in Malaysia. And belated birthday shout-outs today go to Hunter and Naya from Rose Bay, Tom from Wagga Wagga, and Kelsey from St Ives. Well, that's all we have time for. I hope you're enjoying these quizzes. Don't forget, there'll be a new one dropping first thing every Friday morning. And the best bit, they're absolutely free. Just as our other excellent content is free too. We're talking a Squiz Kids Today news podcast on Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, a Squiz Kids Shortcut or a Squiz the World every Tuesday, and for all the teachers out there, there's the Classroom Companion, our teacher-produced classroom activity sheets, curriculum aligned and tied to the Daily Pod on Mondays, and whose entire back catalogue is now searchable via our website. Genius. Check it all out at squizkids.com.au or simply subscribe to Squiz Kids in your favourite podcasting app and all this audio content will magically appear. For now, this is Bryce Corbett signing off and reminding you all to get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.